Hello, my little piggies. Welcome to I Am a Bit of an Expert, a Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman. On the other end of the line is my other host, Matt Frost. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Josh. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. We had a big, good episode last time with the playgroup, which really, I think, recharged the batteries. After hide and seek, I think that'll be the running joke for a while.
Yeah.
We find an episode as lousy as hide and seek.
Absolutely. Yeah, this was another excellent episode. So
yeah, and I think that's important to show that we're not just here to heap praise on Peppa. Regardless, we pick out the speed bumps where they are.
Oh, yeah, we'll have the hottest takes whenever it slips below the bar.
Yeah, that's right. Now, Mummy Pig at Work is what we've got today. Now, this is an interesting one because on the Peppa Pig Twitters, and I sort of search the hashtags and I do a little bit of stuff for our Peppa Pig Twitter thing, Peppa Pig Pod, and every now and then you'll see somebody who tweets at Peppa Pig, the official Twitter thing, and they'll say, "Oh, Mummy Pig's at home with the kids." And Daddy Pig's off playing football with his mates while Mummy Pig's doing the washing, and it's disgusting and I'm never going to watch again. And I'm always a bit like, hey, there's an episode where Mummy Pig's putting out fires while Daddy Pig is, playing football with his mates. Or starting them, exactly. And this is the sort of first establishment where we get what Mummy Pig's profession is. And it starts with Mummy Pig working away and Daddy Pig in the kitchen cooking up dinner. So straight away, I think they're going, hey, man, gender roles are, not set in stone in this household.
Oh, absolutely. I actually had a chat to my Mummy Pig about this because I'm a little bit of a lazy bones. So I'm probably the one that's been more likely to take the opportunity to sit down and watch Peppa Pig with the kids. And whereas my wife is always busy. And she said, it's very stereotypical. And I said, well, it actually isn't. It actually challenges a few stereotypes, and I've always quite enjoyed that.
Yeah, I agree too. And I think you have to sort of sit through a lot of it too. If you sort of walk in on a little bit, you might go, oh, what's going on here? But I think if you watch all of it like we do, you see I think it is consciously trying to balance that out.
Yep. I think it's definitely deliberate.
Now, there is a moment just past this. Actually, no, before we get to that, I thought about the most important part before we got off our high horses here, was what happens in this episode, Matt. Tell us what happens.
This is one of my favourite episodes, and be the one I probably remember the most from the first time I saw Peppa Pig in England. And yeah, this is Mummy Pig at Work, and where it's established that Mummy works at home, and it's lunchtime and Daddy's making lunch, and our little piggies, George and Peppa, want to go see Mummy, and Daddy says that's okay, but as long as they don't distract Mummy because she's got some very important work to do. And hijinks ensue.
They do ensure. Now, I have done a little bit of detective work on this episode because there is a scene when we cut to Mummy Pig in her study, and we've sort of spoken on a previous episode that we think the kids share a room, so Mummy Pig has a study or a home office.
Yes.
But basically, there's a close-up very, very quickly of her computer, of what she's actually typing on her computer. And I did a little bit of freeze framing here. I don't know whether you did as well or not as well.
I did.
You did. Your brain just worked exactly like mine. And unfortunately, I was really, really hoping there was going to be some sort of Easter egg in here. Then there would be some sort of hilarious letter, like Mummy, Daddy Pigs don't read too closely, blah, 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 or something along those lines. But all it says is it's laid out like a letter. There's the address in the top right corner, but it's just all sort of gibberish. And it has Dilby Glibplob, Hilpen Fungally D Tiptox to So Two Fuzz, Kept Lids See Done, and then it sort of zooms out again.
That's right. Yeah.
And she types a little bit more. I thought she might have even used... do you know what lorem ipsum is, Matt? Are you familiar with that term?
No.
So I'll just put my designer hat on here because I'm a graphic web designer by trade. Lorem ipsum is basically a thing that designers use for dummy text. So if you're producing a piece like a design for a website or a brochure or something like that, you don't have the final copy. We use blocks of text called lorem ipsum, which is essentially you go to a website and it generates as much text as you want, and it begins with lorem ipsum, and it's just all sort of Latin copy that you can put inside a design, so you can have some copy in there without having to write some.
Yep.
So I have numerous times. Yeah, so I have numerous times had designs critiqued by, higher ups in organizations saying, "Oh, we really think it's good, but do we have to have that weird writing in there, or do we get a chance to put our own writing in?" It's like, yes, it's just there, so you can see how it looks, how the font will render, and how the font will look and things. So I was kind of thinking that maybe they would put lorem ipsum in here, but it looks like they've just sort of typed whatever. So missed opportunity. I reckon if this Peppa episode came out today, they would have been a lot more conscious about what they put on that computer screen.
See, I'm hearing you, but I disagree. I think that this is a message somehow, and we've got to decode it. So I'm thinking this might be some sort of, not that I ever watched the show, but some sort of lost level mystery, or Dilby Glypop, Hipland Fongli, Tidip So Tu Fuzz, Kepler Sidan. It's got to mean something.
Yeah, I think we gotta. This is where we need the creators on the line. We don't have enough pull yet. When we get to 1,000, downloads, maybe people will start noticing us, and we can, we can ask the questions of the big wigs. But my pig is using a very early 2000s computer. Would you say? No flat screen.
No, it's a beige wonder. It's very much like what you picture a computer looked like when I was that age, I think.
Yeah, so, CD-ROM.
Yes, definitely. The other thing I noticed too is that this entire episode goes for 1 hour. So it's 12 midday when we start, and it's 1 o'clock when we finish. So.
Oh really? Oh wow, yeah. That's very astute. I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's a clock in both rooms, so I've decided that I've got to decode this entire message, so I need to be able to notice things. Maybe something to do with the time.
So it looks like it's. If I'm zooming back here, I'm just checking now because I do have that in front of me. That when they sit on Mummy Pig's lap, it's still midday, and then by the time they call Daddy Pig up to the room, it's actually 12:30.
That's right, yep.
So they've been sitting up there for half an hour watching the computer fry.
Yeah.
Now, Oh, sorry, Mel. I was just going to ask, have you ever had your kids bang on your computer like that before?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And we've talked before, Josh, and you occasionally work from home.
Yes.
How does that go for you?
I don't mind it. I don't ever have my children here, so it's okay. So I don't mix. So I actually don't work on Mondays. I have Mondays off so I have that day with Olive. So it's just me and her, and but I don't do any work that day. So it's a non-working day. But I have occasionally worked from home, but I haven't had to do it with children around.
Yeah, it's basically exactly how it's pictured. So yeah, if we get the call that one of the kids is sick or not feeling well at childcare or whatever, and sometimes it's my turn to go home, and I always go home and say, "Oh, it's no drama. Go home and I'll get this done and this done and this done." And they sit on your lap and hit the keyboard, and then the cat pops up, and it's just
it's all very accurate.
Yeah, like if 5 minutes is 1 hour in Peppa Pig time, like as we found out in this episode, 5 minutes work would take you an hour to do with children. So, yeah.
So Daddy Pig gets called up to repair the computer. He kind of gets put on the spot. He doesn't look exactly thrilled about being asked.
Yeah, he looks like a rabbit in the headlights.
He does. It looks like he's just been asked to do something terrible. And now I'm just watching the clock here because he goes in. It's still 12:30. He's banging on the keys. Nothing's happening. And then we cut back to him just afterwards, and it's jumped to 1 o'clock. So he sits there for half an hour as well and watches the computer flash at him before he decides to do the old IT crowd, turning it off and on again.
Yeah. Well, I guess, haven't you ever had a problem and just sat there for a little while and just hoped it would sort itself out?
Yeah, well, I've got a mate who works in IT support. Hi, Mark, if you're listening. And he's like, 95% of stuff can be fixed by just unplugging it and plugging it back in again.
Yeah, I'm an electrician. We call it cycling the power, but yeah, it's a proven technique.
You Sparkies have got a name for everything.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like he's running Windows on there. I can't really tell exactly. It might be a Mac, but we can't really see. But essentially, Danny Pig fixes the computer. They put in a CD-ROM, and then it's our first Peppa fart jokes.
It's farting eggs.
Farting eggs. And Peppa's not really renowned for fart jokes, is it? Really? It's not really that kind of humour. But this is fart joke central.
Yeah, well, look, I'll maintain to the day I die that farts are funny and should be treated as such. So, yeah.
Well, the only thing funnier than one is, a lot of them.
Yeah, and done by chickens with eggs. So
now I'm just looking. They just cut back up to. So when they finish they're playing the chicken game, and Mummy Pig's sort of wondering what the hell's going on. She comes back upstairs. It's still 1 o'clock. So they've only been playing the chicken game for about a minute or two. So those Pepper and George sat upstairs and looked at a malfunctioning computer for an hour. And managed to hold their attention, and then just so they could play that farting chicken game for a minute before lunch.
Yeah. I'm wondering if perhaps I should stop looking at the clocks.
Well, this is the thing now. Every time we're an episode in the House of the Clocks now, I'm going to see whether time, when you say that this episode runs for an hour, I'm going, oh, does it run for a whole hour? I've only seen the first 5 minutes of it, but I don't think I could sit through an episode of Peppa Pig for an hour. Maybe when we get to the movie.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if that hide and seek game went for an hour, Josh, I think the podcast would probably stop.
It'd be over. Yeah.
I'm a bit of an expert at Ben and Holly.
Well, we had the Ben and Holly Twitter page send us a tweet, I think, the other day. So hello to the people at Ben and Holly if you're listening. So thank you for that. We're blowing up in the world. Yeah. Any closing thoughts on this one? This is another good one. We've sort of had two good ones in a row now, so we're on the right track. Yeah,
look, it was a very good one, and something that I'm glad I just remembered is that I've got two closing thoughts. When Daddy fixes the computer, he just raises his eyes ever so slightly and looks up above him as if, he's thanking some sort of higher pig. It's quite a funny little moment. And he does say, I'm a little bit of an expert at these sorts of things. So
now, is that the first time he says it?
It is.
I'm just trying to. Oh, there you go. There's the catchphrase, right there, coming to a T-shirt near you. All right. Well, thanks, mate. If you want to follow us, we're on all the socials at Peppa Pig Pod, including Facebook, Twitter, I think Instagram as well, and Gmail. So drop us a line, leave a review on iTunes, which would be great. And we'll be back next time with Piggy in the Middle.
Piggy in the Middle. I wonder if we can get 3 in a row that are good.
Well, we'll find out. Thanks again, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Josh, and goodbye, piggies.
Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bing, bongly boo. Bong, bing, boo. Bing, bong, bing. Bing, bong, bingly, bongly boo.